What's going on? What up, Abdul? How you doing? Let's see if we can't get some matches going here. Turn the music down just a tiny bit. There we go. Eric, what's up? What's up? How you doing? We got going here. Icos. How you doing, Icos? Man, I thought that Alpha 18 beta, I thought that was hitting Steam. I didn't realize it was just going to the experimental thing. I was a little bummed. For 7 Days to Die, that is. Icos knows what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's start off with a little warm-up. We'll head into... let's just do an expedition. How's it going there, Whitewater? What do we want to do? Well, it seems silly not to do a dungeon. Let's do a dungeon. You already broke the game. Fair enough. What is my real name? My real name's Sam. Anyway, I'm on US West, y'all. Anybody wants to hop in and join me? I just kind of plan on derping around. Kind of having a casual day, just screwing off, having a little fun. I was going to do some Destiny 2 Crucible today, but I've been getting too caught up in that. I actually looked, and it has been way too long since I did a YouTube live stream. Or a DD2 live stream, pardon me. Do I have this sharded properly? Something doesn't feel right. I got it overcapped for one thing. Where is destruction at? You know what? I know where destruction is. I borrowed it. There it is. That looks a little better. What's going on, Justice? How are you? I was really hoping we were going to get some little tidbit of DDA news today. They've been pretty tight-lipped on that whole thing. They don't want to tell us what's up. My day's so far so good. I played a little Iron Banner Crucible matches in Destiny 2. Just kind of screwing around with that. It's a fun little in-game event. Did I make it public? Yeah, I made it public. Looks like just nobody wants to play Expeditions. What's up, Galaxy? How you doing? We'll add some extra OP to the lane. Torchlight 2. You know, it has been so long since I played Torchlight 2. Let's see, you played this game back in pre-release. It's difficult to get back into it. Returning player experience up to speed. It's quite the grind, and they've made a million different changes to the game there, Spongeworthy. It's well worth playing through, but basically consider yourself starting fresh. You do have one big benefit, depending on how long ago it's been that you played. And the big benefit you would have would be if you played during the Nightmare days, any of that Nightmare 4 gear you have. You remember back in the day, gear used to roll at maximum stats. There was no range on stats. If it was a blue item, it had this stat. If it was a mythical, it had this stat. If it was a legendary, it had this stat, etc., etc. And all of those are now at the max roll, so you want to save all your old pieces and upgrade them. They're actually quite valuable in the player markets as well. But the game has changed a bazillion times over, depending on how long it's been since you played. Defense crit is no longer something you really need to focus on at all, as it got just heavily changed. The nerf bat swingeth. And now the game is very, very dependent on shards. No, I have no plans of playing Fortnite Battle Royale, Abdo. I've played it before. It's just not my kind of game. The Save the World mode would have been my kind of game if they didn't completely ignore its existence and would actually do some work on it. But no, I have no intention of live streaming Battle Royale in any way, shape, or form. Right now, I've actually got an just silly, absurd list of games to play. And I keep getting hung up on the same two. DD2 and Destiny 2. I keep bouncing back and forth between DD2 and Destiny 2. And there's just, there's so many other games to play. I would imagine between all the platforms, something like 10K or so. Yeah, player markets are actually not that old, sponge-worthy. But anyway, now the game is heavily, heavily all about having the right shards. You can progress through the game with absolute crap gear, like gear that's several tiers lower than where you're actually playing at, if you have the proper shards. Yet, if you don't have the proper shards, sometimes you can't beat content using gear that's way higher than where you're playing. The exotic items just drop randomly through the world, Dexy. There's several quest lines for them. If you're at 900 power, you want to get yourself up to 950. So just keep playing. You'll get up to 950 pretty quick. Make sure you're doing the powerful rewards that are offered every week. Well, I did my AP resets in a lot of different eras there, Justice. Right now, it takes between 4 to 5 hours to do a full AP reset. Figure if you're super fast, it'll take 5 hours. If you go kind of casually, it'll take 6 hours. And if you're just ridiculous with insane luck, you can get it done in like 4.5 or so. Per AP reset. But, I mean, when I started doing AP resets, like my very first one took me 24 hours to do, and that was considered absurdly fast. And then my second one took about 15 hours to do, so, I mean, the system has changed considerably. You have to do many, many more, or many, many less maps now than you had to back in the day per reset. Because before, Onslaught was 3 map floors. And you had to go from floor 55 to 65, which that alone was 30 maps that you had to run. You don't have to, right now 30 maps gets you your entire reset. No matter where you're at, no matter how high you've gone. Who we got there? We got Duck. You blame Omni anytime you hit the reset button, that's fair. Omni's birthday was yesterday, the day before. Hopefully you guys said happy birthday to him. Omni needs some birthday wishes. Well, yeah, I mean, DD2 is a free-to-play game. It'll always be alive. I mean, right now there's not very many people playing it, and DDA is not even here yet, so... What's going on there, UFO? You gave him special blames for his birthday? Very nice. Perfect. As it should be. going on there, Jaime? My day's good, man. No complaints. Friday. The weekend's upon us. Lunar TV, how you doing? Stuck mobs, very nice. Yeah, but anyway, I mean, when DDA releases, DD2, I think will have a drop in its player base for sure. But DD2 is not going anywhere. That and it's free to play, so there's always going to be new people coming into the game. DDA releases in February. Nothing wrong with a little DD2 there, Jaime? Because I'm really overpowered for where I'm at, Moises. It's just not really, didn't really have to upgrade anything, to be honest. I'm just kind of farming XP and some crafting materials. So, I mean, there's no need to upgrade anything. This is Chaos 7. Just Expeditions is the place to farm. That's where you get all the gold, all the XP, all the crafting materials. Yet the highest difficulty is Chaos 7, so I'm way OP for Chaos 7 Expeditions at this point. So, I mean, I can literally just throw anything in lanes and it will work. What's going on there, MD? What is DDA? It's the next Dungeon Defenders game. It's a game that's going to be more similar in systems and art style. It'll be more similar to DD1 than DD2. Yeah, just kind of chillaxing today there, Jaime, no doubt. What level map would I be at? Well, I mean, they would have to run it up to like Chaos 10. I'm sure if if the expeditions went up to Chaos 10, that would be about where I'd be. Because, you know, as I mentioned, oh, I clicked go to town already. As I mentioned, the game's all about having the right shards. Well, not only do I have the right shards, but I've got them all gilded, and I'm in a bunch of Chaos 8 gear. So yeah, I mean, if there was expeditions going up to Chaos 10 difficulty, I'm pretty sure I could do them with what I've got right now. I mean, you never know. I might be talking crap and get my butt kicked, but that's where I think I would be right now. But, you see, you just don't get this in Expedition, or in Incursions, or in Onslaught. It's all about the loot. That is a decent poison servo. I think I might just keep that bad boy. Everything else is junk, though. Alright. So what do you guys want to do? What's the mod this week? Isn't it Dragonlord's Soul? We could do a couple Drakenfrost runs if anybody wants any of the Drakenfrost mods. I'll switch Destruction out for Automation, and that will kind of give me a freebie setup there for that map. Do a couple of keep runs here. Onslaught's just not fun, is the problem I have with it. It's fun in theory, but when you have to invest just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours just to play a difficulty or a game mode that you should just be able to click into and join, I'm not into that. I mean, I've put so many thousands of hours into DD2. The The last thing I want to do is have to dump 500 more to be able to do floor 900. You know? I'm at like floor 485 or something now. Right around there somewhere. If I jumped back in and started climbing Onslaught, it would literally be hundreds of hours before I was at the point where the challenge would become too much. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to not have fun for hundreds of hours just so that I can go and have fun for 10 hours. Or whatever the case is. You guys know what I mean. Y'all know what I'm saying. I'm really hoping that returns in DDA, Spongeworthy. I mean, that was an awesome thing. You know, putting your... I mean, the tavern is a big part... It was a big part of the game in DD1. There was a... You know, that was your place. Well, we don't... You know, DD2, we don't have that. So it'll be very nice if that happens in DDA for sure. Guess probably good. I mean, I'm anxious to see what happens, you know. DD2 is a great game, don't get me wrong. Love the game to death, obviously. I put several thousand hours into it. But I'm ready for a new one, you know. No, I don't really play Onslaught anymore. I mean, I'm pretty much done with that. I put my time into Onslaught. You guys gotta remember, I've done multiple Onslaught pushes. I've just stream time alone is probably, I don't know, 500, 600, 700 hours. You have to be on the US West server there, Moises. See, it's public. Who we got there? Just call me Adam. The pillars can be interacted with by some defenses. The LSAs are just there to buff the Flamars anyway. I just did a Mystic build not too long ago, Quincy. That's the same build. All the shards are in the game. You have to refer to my Hero Spotlights playlist. All of the information in that Hero Spotlights playlist is fully up to date. Some of those videos might not have been made yesterday, but nothing has been changed in the game. There actually hasn't been any major changes in DD2 in a long, long time. So, I mean, if you played 6 months ago, it's the same game. If you played 9 months ago, it's the same game. You know, there's minor changes that nothing that would affect any of your builds. But yeah, I don't use any shards or mod combinations that are currently unavailable in the game in any of my videos. Prime 5, Prime 5 is already out, Moises. We've had Prime 5 for 2 weeks now, dude. The last 2 maps were Prime 5. I did it my first time. I'm not going to fail any of the Prime maps. I'm past that point. I mean, I'll fail them by screwing off, but I'm not going to fail them when I'm actually trying. There's no way. Even the very last one. When Betsy is the last map, theoretically that should be the hardest map to do. I'm very confident I will do it in one try. Luis! What's going on, Luis? How you doing? Now, I'll fail them later on when I'm experimenting and screwing around and trying different things, but I won't fail it when I'm actually giving it my best effort and throwing my best stuff at it. Twinkie! What's going on, Twinkie? But yeah, I mean, the difficulty is ramping up. It's end game, you know? I mean, for the people who have already passed that point, you know, which there's quite a few, there's the player base that's left is very small, so it's a mix of brand new players and very old players. There's not a whole lot of mid ground in the player base right now. From what I see, anyway. They're still doing that, Spongeworthy. They just did an event like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And they got a big beta. The community development team has got a huge update coming. Like, big. A lot of maps. I mean, a lot of content. It's all in beta now. You can play it right now in the beta branch in DD1. DD1 had a very, at the time, I mean, when DD1 first launched, there was a time where it was competing with games like Call of Duty, as far as in Steam popularity. Now, that was a short period, of course, but DD1 kept a very long-term community for sure. Nothing wrong with that, Luis. That'll still get the job done for you. Well, no, we don't need more. We need a new game, Moises, is what we need. We need Dungeon Defenders Awakened. We don't need another tier to mindlessly grind through in DD2. I mean, if they put another tier in, I would do it, don't get me wrong. But the problem with adding more content to a game that's not only got a lot of things that are really broken, but in addition to that has been already beaten by so much of the player base, is new content that gets added in is just trivial after one day. You know, so higher difficulties that come in, for a player like me, they could put in any difficulty, and by the end of the first day, I'm going to be beating it. That Sandstorm Warrior is really good, Twinkie. I mean, it's a grind game. It's not... It's just like DD1. You get to the point where you can do the hardest stuff in the game, and then you grind it out for perfection. Or you call yourself the end, you know, you call it good, and you move on and play something else. Because, I mean, look at, what is it when you get to that point? When you get to the point where you're at, you got 100% optimized Chaos 7 gear. You've got a whole lot of Chaos 8 gear really dialed in. You've got every shard that you need gilded. And you've got a high ascension level. Well, you've beaten the game. You know? So, I mean, what do? You either keep grinding the game that you've already beaten, or you move on and play something different. That's just the natural cycle, you know? Well, there's just no point in it, though, is the thing, Marius. You can reset and reset and reset all you want, but you don't gain any more power. It's just doing it to do it. All you gain is more XP and gold. That's it. I'm sure there will be some updates there, UFO. I mean, it'll be a lot of balance passes and stuff. Or it'll be bug fixes and... Well, what they originally said after they launched DDA is that they said that there would be balance and bug patches, and there would be new cosmetics coming to the game. So, I mean, I would expect exactly that. all of this incursion stuff we got, all of this prime incursion stuff we got, is all bonus stuff. I know some people absolutely love it, and some people absolutely hate it, the prime incursions, but we weren't supposed to get any of that. So, I mean, I am not complaining, because we got more content to play, and we didn't have to pay anything for it. I mean, that's good stuff, you know? I love the game, Moises. I just, realistically, I know that the fix to DD2 is not to add in more difficulty. The fix to DD2 is DD3. And we're not going to get DD3 and right off of DD2, so we got DDA in between. You know? So DDA is going to be much more similar to DD1 in systems and art style. And I love DD1, so I'm not complaining. Now, I'm not going to lie. With all the character models and stuff they've shown so far, I think the DD2 ones look better. I think a lot of people would say that. But it's not that it doesn't look good. It's that I like the DD2 art style better. A lot of people like the DD1 art style better. So it's all... it's still going to be a great game, though. Whether I like the art style better in DD2 or not. You know? At this point, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. They said they were going to try to, but that was a long time ago, and there's been no more discussion of it. And it's a question that they will not answer on a live stream, because many people have asked it. So I don't think it's ever going to get changed. Well, because I've already played the game and done the grind, Moises. For someone who's just starting the game, there's 1,000 hours of content sitting there staring at you. Go ham. Have fun. Play the game. You don't need any changes to the game. You just need to play it. Well, I've already passed that point. I've already played it. You know, I've already put in the thousands of hours. I've got all the shards. I've got all the gear. So, I mean, it's the natural cycle of any game. I mean, you can't compare it to that. Yeah, if you're a new player that just started playing the game, you struggle in Chaos 1. Well, it's because you just started playing the game. You know? You're going to get to where I'm at a lot quicker than what it took me to get to where I'm at. Look at it that way. You're not going to have to put 10,000 hours into a game. 1,000 hours and you're going to be at the same spot. Literally. You can start playing DD2 today, play it for 1,000 hours, and you will have the same stuff as me. All the same stuff. Now, your ascension level might not be as high, but that's it. And my ascension level doesn't do anything else for me. Now every point I gain does 0. Does nothing for me. I just love action defense games, and you know what? There's been a lot of action defense and tower defense games that have come and gone since DD2 launched. But the Dungeon Defenders franchise as a whole is the king in that, you know? Yeah, I mean, all the work is already done. That's it, Twinkie. I wish that DDA beta was here now, though, because I'm ready. I am ready. My channel is ready. I think you guys are ready. You guys are ready for a bunch of content. You know, people keep telling me, do new videos for DD2. Well, I've done all of these videos for DD2 so many times. If I do new DD2 tutorials right now, I'm doing the exact same thing, yet it's going to have a newer date on the video. So I'm just not going to do that. I'm not going to repeat the content over and over and over and over again. I mean, I would love to have a bazillion tutorial videos to do for DD2 right now. Because let me tell you, right now times are tough. You know, the player base for DD2 is down. Well, imagine what that does for me, personally, in my channel. I mean, it's down, you know. So, I mean, I would love for there to be some reason for me to do a bunch of content that people want to see. But sadly, I think it's going to take DDA for that to happen, you know? What's going on, Jacob? How you doing? I said hi the first time. But hi again. DDA is supposed to release in February 2020, Marius, so next February. Now, the beta for DDA is supposed to come out next month. Hi, Jinx. What up, what up? How are you? Nah, the beta will not be free. The beta will be for people who have pre-ordered the game that included beta access. I'm sure there's going to be other ways to get into the beta. That's not going to be the only way to get into it. But that's how the people who pre-ordered DDA already and pre-ordered it with a package that included the beta, they'll be in the beta on day one. Your 21st birthday is going to be you in a club with your Switch. Twinkie, do not take your Switch with you on your 21st birthday, for God's sakes. Go to the club, man. Do not take your Switch. DDA is the next Dungeon Defenders game, Jacob. It's scheduled to release in February. You'll leave it in the car. Don't leave it in the car either. People break into cars at the club. Don't do it, Twinkie. Leave it at home. How many resets have I done? 73, I think? God, that's terrible. I don't even remember. It's been so long now. I think it's like 7, or no, I don't know. Let me look. As soon as God, that is bad. $67? Terrible. Terrible. Well, you know I'm getting old there, Spongeworthy. They say the first thing to go is your memory, you know? Apparently my memory's shot. 65. I've done 65 resets. Yeah, because 70 maxes it. I didn't do the five resets to get Ancient Builder because I think that's completely pointless. So I'm not going to invest a bunch of time and effort into getting what I think is completely pointless. And I think that's completely pointless. So yeah, I'm happy at my 65. I'll take it. DDA is not free, Moises. It's like DD1. It's a regular retail game, but there will be no microtransactions. There will be no inventory shenanigans like we got in DD2. It will be you buy it, you own it. I've done face reveals years ago, Alan. I don't, in my current setup, I've also answered this question 1,000 times, so pardon me if I sound like I'm short. But in my current setup, I got TVs going behind me, I'm playing in my living room, the wife's walking around, I can't use a webcam with my current setup. After I move, I'll start using one again. I used to use one all the time, so you can go back to videos from several years ago if you want to see my ugly mug. Lies, it's glorious. It's glorious. Where you coming, Mr. Frosty Pants? The juicy flare is the self-portrait. Boy, if I look like that... Oof. How's the wife keeping me around? Good lord. How on earth is the wife keeping me around? What's going on, Project Black? How are you? How's life? Alright, let's do one more and then I'll go out to town and start up a new game. I see you're still grinding it out, Twinkie. What you been doing? Oh, well, that's fair, Moises. My Spanish is absolutely terrible. I do apologize. Peter Plays? What's up, what's up? Welcome back. I've actually got a Spanish moderator, Spanish-speaking moderator, Mayritha, but she is not available at the time. Not available at the moment. Your PS4 don't work? That sucks there, Tammy. What's up with the PS4? I didn't put LSAs in up there, but I don't care. That's what I might do. Bust out my Xbox or PS4. You know what? I'm gonna put a poll up on my community tab. I'm not gonna make any promises, but I gotta find out if I did bust out one of those alt accounts and start tooling around on it. While we're waiting for DDA, which one to use? I'd want to use the one which the most viewers are using, of course. Yeah. I broke down and did it anyway. There we go. Yeah, across all platforms, about 10,000 hours. If you want to know the real story of the PS4, it'll give you quite a laugh. Because well, it's not funny, but at the same point, after the fact now, you guys know how buggy things are on the PS4. Well, I played on the PS4. This is an early beta, like pre-alpha even. I played on the PS4 as my primary account for about a year. And I got so frustrated by all the bugs, I rage quit on the PS4 right in the middle of a live stream. I got a rule with games. The rule is if you're not having fun, then you don't play that game. Because why would you? You know, it's supposed to be enjoyable. And if you're not enjoying yourself, then you should not be doing it. That's just... I mean, that's a general rule of life even, but it certainly applies to gaming. If you don't enjoy your games, don't play that game, period. And I wasn't enjoying the game, and I was like, you know what? I've been saying this rule for years. If you don't enjoy the game, don't play it. Well, this buggy POS has got me irritated. I'm not having fun, so I'm out. And I went probably like 3 months, maybe even 4 months without even turning my PS4 on again. Now, I did just switch over and start playing on the PC. I didn't. It's not like I quit DD2. I quit PS4. My lightning strikes right now are not set up for DPS, so they're pretty low. I'm using destructive pylon on them. That's their tier 1 DPS right there. You can't move profiles at all, sadly. If so, I would play more on the consoles. If I could copy my PC profile over to consoles, I would play more on it for sure. Well, none of us know if DD2 will be good, Moises. It's not out yet. Fortnite. Chapter 2 stream? No, thank you. Season's a lot better than the last. I can't... I am way, way, way behind the learning curve in building in Fortnite. BR there, Twinkie. If I jumped into a map right now, it would just be embarrassing. I have been tearing it up in Destiny, though. Destiny 2's PvP. I've gotten a lot better at that. Your PS4 overheated 3 times and it stopped coming in. Youch. Your room is hotter than my flame auras? Could be there, Loco. Maybe you need to open up a window if it's too hot, man. But yeah, none of us know if DD2 will be good or not. I think we're all optimistic it will be, you know? I think if you enjoy DD1, you'll probably enjoy DD2 from the sound of things. Omni's a beast miner in Minecraft. That's a game that I'd love to play again, but I have to play modded Minecraft. I just can't do vanilla. I gotta have the mods. Gots to have them mods. You know what? I'm going to do that. I'm going to put that poll up right now. I'll try to keep an eye on the map, too. I'll attempt to. No promises. Sorry, y'all. I'm that guy that won't hit G. What do we got? Alright, 240 mobs left. Let's see. Option 1. Xbox One. Option 2. PS4. Alright, y'all. Here it is. I put up a poll on the community page. Here's a link to it. Let me know if you play on the Xbox, if you play on the PS4, which one are you playing on? What's your preference? My PS4 and my Xbox, for that matter, is going to require mad updates before I can play DD2 on it. Crazy, crazy updates. Where's the video of the PS4? I don't know. It's several years ago. I mean, there's hundreds of videos on the PS4 on the channel, but they're back from years and years ago. I've been playing, for the most part, exclusively on PC for, I don't know, I want to say at least 2 years. At least. No, there's no crossplay, Jacob. That's something that could potentially happen down the road with DD2. and it will have cross save at launch. So with DDA, I will be playing on all the platforms all the time, as I'm going to be playing on one account, you know. My Xbox has been acting really funny. It did I had like a hard shutdown from a power outage. It's been back several weeks ago now. The wife uses the Xbox a lot, and it's been acting really, really wonky ever since. You're scared of DDA? Why would you be scared of DDA? Alright, head out to town. Thanks for the runs there, y'all. See what kind of loot I got in the goodie bag. Well, like I said, Michael, I don't know. It was a live stream, like I said, when I quit playing the PS4. I have no idea where it is. It might even be not even be on YouTube. It might be on Twitch. It's been years since that happened, so I mean, I just don't remember. Alright, let's see what kind of junk we got. Yay, we got stuff to look at. Yep, Dragon Lord Soul this week, indeed. I think I do. Yeah, the Xbox is plugged into a surge protector. Can blame Blitz for that one. The kitty cat. He likes to crawl around back behind things. And he yanked the power cord out. Damn cat. Nothing good, nothing good. Alright, what next, y'all? What next? Let's see if there's any public matches going here. See what kind of public matches we got. We got a Chaos 7 Gates. We got a Chaos 6 Throne Room. I'm going to jump in and check out the Throne Room. I'm not going to ruin this person's experience by carrying them through it. But I'm going to see what somebody's doing in Chaos 6 on Throne Room. Let's see what's up. See, we got some tree action with some weapon mans. Buggy tooltips, so we can't look at the weapon mans. Not really sure why the tree. This is someone that's farming shards, I'm gonna guess, because they are way stronger than the content. The mobs are just evaporating. These trees are not even necessary. Just their weapon man is just smoking everything. There's never going to be fixes to that stuff, Project Black. It's ingrained in the terrible Unreal 3 code. That stuff is not going anywhere. There won't be any massive mechanical fixes like that in DD2. All of that stuff, like looking at people's tooltips, that's permanent. And they're past the point of going back and fixing that stuff. How do you get good servos? You just have to, it's RNG, their template. So you have to either farm them or you have to re-roll them. One of the two. So it's just, it's a grinder game, you know? Nah, it doesn't show you accurate numbers. You can't look at other people's defenses in the game. I mean, you can look at them, but it's never going to show you accurate numbers. No, that's, like I said, it's bugged. The problem DD2 suffers from is there was a whole lot of cooks in the kitchen. They started up a bowl of soup, and I don't even know how many people, a dozen different people over the course of many, many years came in and added their own ingredient to the soup. And the soup has now turned into something that's too damn salty. Even if you're there when they build it, it never shows you 100% correct, Tim. It will show you closer than what this is, but it will never show you 100% correct. It's also funny when people send me screenshots. They took a screenshot of one of my defenses and it shows it at like 60 million. And it's like, damn, I wish. It's nowhere near 60 million. What's going on there, monkey? How you doing? I'll be playing on various platforms before it's crossplay even, Michael. That's the benefit of the cross-save. The cross-saves are going to be there at launch. So, I mean, not the first week, probably. Then again, I mean, I don't know. I might start off on the Switch, just to throw in a mix of the things. I'm not gonna. I'll start on the PC, just because that's my comfort zone. I'm a PC gamer, you know, so I'm just so used to keyboard and mouse. You guys will see if I pop up and start doing some kind of console streams. You guys will laugh your butt off because I cannot use a controller at all. It will be quite the challenge, just placing any defense. Yeah, cross save is awesome. You know, that's just an amazing thing. see if we got anything worth looking at in the player markets. Nope. Nothing. Nothing for me, anyway. Might be something for somebody, but nothing for me. Alright, let me get that Chaos 6 stuff out of here. Where you at, 10 out of 10? Not here. The Bell Ringer. Such a hot item. Alright, where to next? Let's see what else we got going. There's 2 Chaos 4 runs, a Buried Bastille and a Drakenfrost. See if anybody's doing any other game modes. Floor 260. Floor 4. No mastery going. And there's a Bling King going. Let's check out this person's Bling King build. See what's up with the Bling King. There's not really a best as far as moats go project. It's whatever. It's a grind, you know. So whatever you're comfortable with, or whatever your favorite map is. See, we got Splody Splodes, Flames. We got quite the setup going. Lock's getting destroyed. It's all good. We can do it. We can do it. The best way to get... Well, Venomous Vipers is no longer in the game. Is the problem, Quincy. They changed it to that fire mod. It's made me very salty. No, DDA is not free. Oh, Taco, what up? How you doing? One more. Whether or not Twinkie will be banned in DDA chat, we're going to have to see there, Twinkie. time will tell. Sounds like you might not have the right shards in somewhere there, Jaime. Yeah, that would probably be the best place there, Jacob. Ah, somebody finally recognized me. I was wondering if anybody was going to. It's more fun when they don't know. They're like, oh my god! This is so awesome. But yeah, in short there, Jacob, to answer your question about Molten Citadel, Molten Citadel is just such an easy peasy setup. It's technically, it's not the fastest place to go do it. But, or pardon me, you said Molten Citadel. No. You want Unholy Catacombs, man. Molten Citadel is going to be the fastest if you spawn camp. If you don't spawn camp, it's going to be one of the slowest. The best place is going to be Unholy Catacombs. And one of the reasons there is not only is it just a super easy map to set up, but it's easy enough to set up where you can still go AFK and still run the map super quick. So I apologize. I completely misread what you said. I read Molten Citadel, and in my head I heard Unholy Catacombs. Molten Citadel is the fastest if you spawn camp. Unholy Catacombs is the fastest if you don't spawn camp Molten Citadel. I guess the same can be said about Unholy Catacombs, though. You're going to want to spawn camp Unholy Catacombs as well. So pardon me, giving you the incorrect infos. Oh, what happened? We blew it up. We done blowed up. I'll replay it with these guys. Alright, Moises, take it easy. Have a good night. I haven't done any Onslaught in many months, Taku. I stopped at like floor 480 something. Floor 484, I think, is where I'm at. But I stopped doing it several months ago. It just got boring and grindy. I don't play stuff that's not fun. And boring and grindy to me doesn't equal fun. People dropping the mana. I don't care who builds. Yeah, I'm not here to ruin anybody's experience. I just wanted to join. Yeah, I'm ready for a new grind. I tell you what though, this week the difficulty scaled up in incursions for sure. By the last map, it should be difficult. You know, it should be a nice challenge for it'll certainly be a nice challenge for the majority. It's one thing I need to do. Maybe I'll work on it this weekend, or maybe I'll work on it tonight, actually. It'll be a big editing job, but one of the challenges for newer players coming in is there's a serious lack of information. You can go onto the DD2 Discord, and everybody's got a spreadsheet for you. And most of those spreadsheets are not really quality builds. Some of them are good, and they're all viable, but they're not ones that are going to be easy to obtain for a newer player. Zombie Wookie did a pretty good Steam guide for newer players, but one of the problems on YouTube is, like, I've got almost 3,000 DD2 videos out, literally. I'm like 100 away from 3,000. But I could put together a video that's just all-inclusive. It'll be a long video, it'll probably be 30 minutes, but it will be like an all-you-need-to-know about DD2 video. I've been debating on doing that. Welcome back there, Brando. Appreciate you swinging back by. Kind of curious on that poll now. Did y'all vote in the poll? See, 50 votes. PS4 68%. Holy crap. That's actually a shocker. I mean, it should be that way, I guess, because more people play on PS4. See what it's up to when there's a few hundred more people polled. Anybody that's just joining, I got a poll going over there asking on what platforms you're playing on. No, once you push to like floor 70 plus one time hurts, and then just spam the resets. It won't always be floor 30. Your minimum that you have to get to goes up every reset. You'll eventually get to the point where you have to do floor 51 to 80, and that's where it stops. They dumped the rest of the mana on me. I don't want to get up in the spawns. Where'd this lane go? Oh, so we're just giving up this one, huh? Alright, well, I mean, we're building for it. There's nothing wrong with it. There won't be any baddies coming out of there. We got 60 left. Or we had 80 left. Let's just do this and see what happens. That's not going to stop everything. But I'm curious to see if it protects that sub-objective. Where ought to go at? It seemed like the gold's spawning. Nah, none come out of this lane. Golden boars. That's the first time I've ever heard anyone refer to him as a golden boar, Twinkie. What the hell? I don't even know what that was. Well, they're wither beast by nature, but I like golden boars. I think I'm going to go with it. It is now no longer the wither beast. It is the golden boar. So what would a regular wither beast be called? Would it just be a regular boar? I guess they want me to. Alright. Consider your experience ruined. Let me make sure my shards are right. Get rid of automation. Get back with... Oop, wrong one. Let's go destruction. Where are you at, destruction? There you are. Shoot, did I put that too close? That's a little bit too close on that flame aura. I'll move the flame aura over here. That gives them room to come out. You can't be the only person coming up with the names. That's fair, Twinkie, that's fair. So, what are the little diggy boars called? Are they just little diggy boars? Or a regular wither beast? I mean, you got to go with boar. You know, you can't stop that flavor once it's started. Alright. Let's hit one upgrade right there. Abort is what they do when they dive underground. I can't even come close to attempting to pronounce that, Spongeworthy. Not even close. I'm not even going to pretend. Piccoli Cinghiali? I don't even know. I don't know. I'm terrible. My Italian is worse than my Spanish. And let me tell you, the Spanish is pretty bad. Where ought to go at? And we're going to lose gold in there. Yeah, we lost some. Oof. Yeah, I don't want to frostfire everything. Oof. I done wrecked two of them little golds up in there from the frostfire. Get these reflecty boys all zapping, doing their thing. These guys are snagging the gold quick. Here's one. Oop. There we go. Fail jump. Fail jump. Like that might be it for the ground gold, huh? Oh, no, there's one. Uh-oh. The Frostfire is going to wreck that one too. Come on out, little golden boar. You can do it. Oh, he popped. Oh, I still got it. The golden boar did not die in the cover of the spawn. Good enough. The Golden Boar. Quick, Twinkie, get that trademarked instantly. Every time someone uses the term Golden Boar, they must pay Twinkie 16 cents. I'm going to end up having to owe him all kinds of money for that one. $0.16 is a little much. I would have to agree, Spongeworthy. Maybe we should drop that down to 6. I think 6 sounds a little more fair. 16, after I said it, I was like, man, Twinkie gonna be rolling in the dough quick. We start giving him 16 cents per. RYL band. It cracks me up, some of the names that make it through. I mean, it's not overly surprising to me that Twinkie is blocked, but some of the names that do make it through, there's some pretty offensive stuff out there. You know, I'm not going to go into all that, but you guys see it. You know what I'm talking about. Thousand hours is 41.67 days. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. You get 1,000 hours out of any game, I think you're doing pretty good. It's hard to play a game for 1,000 hours a lot of times. But any game that you get 1,000 hours out of, man, I think you definitely got your money's worth. No doubt there. Oh, wrecked. Where all the gold? Where all the gold? There's one. I'm kind of curious. I don't know why that popped into my head, but I'm kind of curious at floor 300 and whatever it was for the new Yeti incursion. Floor 333, I think, is what it translated over to. I'm curious if you could do that flame auras only. Because, I mean, flame auras, of course, are going to have double damage against all of those frost mobs. And if you did flame auras only, God, you'd be able to put so many of them. I mean, it would have to be Chaos 8 Flame Auras. There's no doubt about that. To go flames only. Give me my gold. Now. There it is. Ah. I was playing my Hunter in Destiny 2 earlier. I was looking for that triple jump. Oh no, triple jump is not there. We got the double. That's all we get. Alright, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? I got, what, another 30 minutes or so left. I mean, I could try that right now if you guys want. I don't think I could do it in a group. Flame Auras only, but I'm curious if just solo it would even work. No loot for me. Do it up? Alright. You guys say so. I will do it. Let's see, I'm going to have to get dialed in first. Let me get into the map here. I feel bad if I ignore people in town when they're talking to me. So I try not to do that. Get Revenge of the Yeti. There we go. I'm curious. I'm very curious myself now. For some reason, I don't think it's going to work. But, I mean, we'll find out. I usually don't like to do these one tower builds. There's just nothing, there's nothing more boring than only using one tower, right? I like to mix it up. But I'm just curious, since you do get the double damage on all those Frosties, if you can do it. Now let me make sure my Flame Aura is fully jacked. It's fully jacked. Is there anything else I could do to jack it further? I mean, obviously I could boost it, but then it's not Flame Auras only. Alright, well, let's see what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entrances, right? So we got 220 DU per lane, which is 7 Flame Auras per lane. But I am going to need a little extra. I guess the extra can be for the flyers there. Let's try it out. If we're 7 per lane, let's just go 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Here I think since it's a shorter lane, I'm going to double them. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is it's floor 333 mob level. I don't think it's going to work. But it might. I mean, the benefit you get is not only are we putting out decent damage. Something doesn't feel right. Got everything set there. Do I have? Yeah, I've got my speed in. I guess it's right. It seems like it should be more than that. I don't know. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm worried about the flyers here. Mainly this lane's where the flyers. So I'm going to get really close with these. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now here we get a little double dip, because anything that makes it through here is going to have to get into the business here. Yeah, I don't know. Something doesn't seem right. Deadly Strikes, Destruction, Mass Destruction. It's the right shards. Let me re-equip them and see. No, I guess that's right. I thought they did more than that, unbuffed. I guess not. 2, 3. I'm going to go 1 here. That leaves me enough for 2, or I can't go Sky Guards, derp. Alright, so this is what I need to do here for the flyers that sneak through. And that is give them a little bit of a double whammy here. And I can go 1 more. Let's go the 1 more right here. Alright, Twinkie. You asked for it. Here it comes. See if it's going to be a big old fail. Man, they're just running through. Looks like they're dying, though. Oh, they dying alright. Holy crap, man. See if the flyers die, though. Nope. Gonna have to help. Alright, so we know we're gonna have to buff what? We're gonna have to upgrade this area so those flyers don't make it through so far. This right here, folks, would be the results of power creep. The game is in a way that obviously this is not something a new player could do, or even a regular C7 player could do. But this is the power of the stacking of Destruction and Mass Destruction with Chaos 8 gear. This is all the power creep stacked together right here is what this is. I really expected mobs to be making it down to the last ones. I didn't expect that to go like that. Shelly Lynn! What's going on, Shelly? Every stream is Q&A lo-fi. I don't have any non-Q&A streams. Shelly Lynn has arrived. Did you finally get all the Warframe out of your system there, Shelly? Are you done looking at Wisp's butt? I know what you were doing. Not done looking at Wisp's butt yet, huh? Alright. Now, obviously, I'm going to have to contribute on the Yetis when the Yetis come. Well, I mean, step 1 would be install Warframe. Step 2 would be farm Wisp. And then you will instantly know what I'm talking about. I haven't played any Warframe in a while, Spongeworthy. I've been kind of waiting for Railjack, and it's just not here yet. They keep putting out other stuff, but not Railjack. Stardew had its multiplayer update. I'm still waiting for the big update for Stardew. In fact, I'll probably do a stream. Oh, wait, maybe I should kill this Yeti. I'll probably do a stream in advance. There is a Diggy Boar. Diggy Boar got in the ground. The Melee 3.0 I could care less about. I never really got into the Melee in Warframe. It just seemed way too spin to win. So I've always been into the ranged heroes. So I mean, like, I'm a huge mag fan. I love me some magaliciousness. Magaliciousness. I am curious about those Volbin reworks that they're talking about. I personally think there is no cooler looking frame than Volbin. And if there's not some sort of a stormtrooper skin that comes out for Volbin, I am going to be so upset. Needs stormtrooper skin for Volbin Prime badly. Alright, look at me just chatting away here. And we're already on wave 3 on something I didn't think was going to work. Well, like I said, I don't think this would work in Chaos 7 gear. I mean, in Chaos 7 gear, you're going to have to take advantage of elemental combos. Or cross-buffing. You doing that 1 amp warrior there, Twinkie? Are you making Omni proud with some boost arrows? Them flyers. They're still making it out. Or no, they died. It's like, dang, the flyers are still pushing through. Yeah, this is a bit on the redonkulousness side. But this is, like I said, this is a result of the power creep, you know? Which it happens, you know, it's gonna happen. The problem is shy of getting like Chaos 8 amps or whatever, there's no reason to farm it. You know, you can get those special weapons, but I mean, let's be honest here. If your goal is to do an onslaught push, you're going to end up getting lots of Chaos 8 amps from just doing your onslaught push. Or if you're doing a bunch of AP resets, as you get into the higher AP resets, you're going to get a bunch of amps. Where them Yetis? Yeti here? Oh, nope, he dead. This Yeti ain't dying now. Oh no. Pop! He dead now. I went 170 floors once without finding a C8 amp, but that's really rare. That's like the extreme end of things. But I mean, the good thing now is amps have become devalued to a point. There was a time where like C8 amps would go for 10 million gold. You know, and then they dropped down to 8, and then to 6, and then to 5, and so on and so on. But nowadays, if you pay more than like, you know, $1 million, $1.5 million for a C8 amp, you're overpaying for it. Just because they're so readily available in all of the game modes. C9? Yeah, C9's never going to happen. But that would be awesome. If you're gonna do C9, might as well just do C10 too. Originally, that was their plan. If you look back, before expeditions were expeditions, they were called trials. And when trials came out, they said that the original intention was to go up to Chaos 10 trials. But that, of course, has changed. Oh no! I got the freezies on me. Bink. Take that. You big old fatty. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god! Oh, that was snoozing right there. Holy crap. That was snoozing. The second you think you're a badass, oh yeah, that's what happens to you. That's the price, paying the price of arrogance right there, folks. Let that be a life lesson. Don't think you're better than everybody else, because that shit'll go and happen to you. Well, I'm just snoozing along through this map, Shelly, and thinking WTF, you know? Alright, well, there we go. Flame Auras only. There's no need for all that fancy stuff. Just throw some Flame Auras on the ground. If you're Chaos 8 with Max Ascension. See if there's anything in the box. Every time I've run this map... Or no, there's not going to be one this time. Blue chest. So there we go. There is the very first time. But I was about to say, every time I've run this map, I've gotten one of the new weapons. But this time, clearly, there ain't crap in that box. Nothing good. Well, I'm not talking about max ascension level. I'm talking about max ascension points. Unrivaled Reaper. So getting to the point where you can put 999 into one defense. You can always make another hero. You know, say you want to use Flame Auras and Lightning Strike Auras. Well, you have two different monks. One with their ascension points all dumped into flames. One with their ascension all dumped into lightning. When you get to the point where I'm at, you just realize that all that is unnecessary. And you're way too powerful for the content. And then that's when you get lazy, like I did. So, I mean, I'm full lazy mode here. I did Flame Auras. I got Flame Auras and Lightning Strikes maxed. This column means nothing. Don't even bother. It's not worth putting points in. Unless it's a wall or something you're using as a wall, of course. But all power. Just go full power and you'll wreck it. Let's see. And there was no super shiny loot in there for me. I do wish that they would have put something else in with these, wish they would have put some other stuff in. Other than just having the chance. I mean, just having the chance of getting the Chaos 8 amp is awesome. Having the chance of getting a fully upgraded Chaos 8 weapon is awesome. But it's not awesome enough to grind those maps. See if anybody's selling anything. Nothing really I'm interested in buying other than crafting materials. But none of the pristine... I'm looking for pristine moats or pristine clusters. I think I'm pretty far away from getting... I don't even know what defense I was working on. I'm working on boost stars, I believe. Yeah, I'm 3 of 5. So my boost stars will go next. I don't think I've got 50 clusters yet. I don't think I'm anywhere near that, in fact. Let's see. Oh, I actually got 75. Oh, I don't have the motes is what it is. I've got 109 motes. I'm actually close on going one more bump on my boost stars. Yeah, I need 11 more is it? Wow. 11 more for one more bump. Alright, what next, y'all? I got a little bit of time left. I got time to do one more. What do y'all want to do, or what do y'all want to see? And once again, for those that are just joining, if you're a console player, let me know in that poll. Yeti LSA only? Man, the LSA only would be brutal. They changed it a little, Spongeworthy. You don't have to do it as much. Floor 999 is not possible. Nibbles, no one has done it. No one has even done floor... I think the highest is Nictus at 958. Anyway, let me get in here where I can look through. I'll kind of go through that stuff with you. But when you're building a hero... Oh man, that stinks there, Reaper. When you're building a hero, you just want to look for conflicts. Now what I mean by that is, let's take a look at the Nuke Monk. So what's the most important thing with the Nuke Monk? Say it's a Nuke Monk that I also want to build Flame Auras on. So let's start off with the Auras. What's the most important thing? Well, the most important thing in all of your Ascension for any damage, or any defense that does damage, is going to be defense speed. If you get the 20 points into defense speed, it's the most powerful thing you can do out of the entire tree for your Flame Auras. So if we look, there's no other conflicts that would conflict with a DPS hero here. So the first 20 points in the defense category could go right into defense speed. Now, in utility, there's two different areas. Your defense crit chance or your defense or your hero crit chance is where you would want to go first, and you have to make a decision. Do you want your auras to do more work, or do you want to have to do more work? If you want your auras to do more work, then you'd want to put your points into defense crit chance. If you wanted your hero to do more work, you'd want to put them into hero crit chance. Now, if you're asking for a suggestion for me, I would always suggest going into your defense first. Because no matter how powerful you are, your defenses, it is a tower defense game. So let your defenses do the work. And then the offense category, of course, there's nothing that clashes at all. So you can very easily do one defense with one hero, or one defense on a DPS hero without having to worry about anything else. You know, let's look at, say, the EV. Okay, so this is my ability power EV. I'm just going to go ahead and reset. Let me reset the ascension points. Alright, now this is an ability power EV. So, if we look at each category, what am I most concerned with? Well, in offense, I'd be most concerned with the proton charge damage, as that's my bread and butter. That's what I'm going to be using. So let's say we'll put 20 points in right there. Now, what's the most important thing I could do here? Now, let's say this is a proton beamer, right? So, since it is a damaging defense, the first 20 points here, I'm going to want to go into defense speed. So we're going to put those 20 points here. Now, I'd have to make that choice over here. Do I want the defense crit chance, or do I want the hero crit chance, or even be in an ability power EV do I want more heat capacity? Now, I personally would go with defense crit chance first. So if I was at 60 Ascension and I was going with an ability power EV that also build proton beams, this is what I would do. 20 points here, 20 points there, 20 points there is what I personally would do. Now, since I've got the luxury of having a crap load of Ascension in the utility category, I'm just going to go ahead and max everything. So it's all popped. I can't do anything with those other 2,700. Okay, this is a proton beam builder, so the first thing I want to do is get my proton beams jacked up. It's more valuable for me to go to another defense than it is to go into the proton beam health, as the value you get out of this is just so small. Even when you're using vampiric empowerment, I know people will ask that. Even using vampiric empowerment, the benefit you get out of your defense health on a damaging defense is just really small. Now, what do I want to do? Well, if we look at this hero's gear, it's obviously my buff beamer as well. So this hero is going to be building proton beams and buff beams. So my next bunch of points, I'm going to want to go right into buff beam damage. We'll get that all super jacked. And then now these other 865 points, since I'm not doing anything else other than protons and buff beams on this hero, are completely wasted. So I can just go ahead and put those 865 into the proton beam just to give it a little bit more something, even though I'm getting almost no value out of it. It's better than just leaving them sitting, you know? Then over here on that offense category, we knew that we're going to be using proton charge a lot on this guy. So the first thing we're going to do is jack up the proton charge damage. Now we also know that dead heroes do no damage, right? So if you're dead, you're not doing any damage because you're dead. So I'm going to next prioritize hero health. And by prioritizing hero health, this allows me to not worry about having hero health on my gear. So I go all ability power on my gear, and I still end up with a decent amount of hero health, 861,000. Now we've still got more points to spend. The next most popular ability I would use on an ability power EV would be the grab bots. So that other 885 points I'm going to throw into grab bots. Buff beams stink, Twinkie. There's no other reason. You got to have a buff beam builder or you can't play around with them. But buff beams are poo. You got 60 DU spent. Let's see, let's watch this. Let's look at just the buff beam. That's going to get my tooltip damage on this up to 2.23 million. Now if we go over here, and instead of going a buff beam, we go a boost aura. Just the boost aura is going to get me up to 2.1. So it's slightly less, but I've got utility out of the boost aura because I'm using boosted grasp. Now if I wanted to get the exact same number, I would swap out boosted grasp and put in boosted power and then take a look at it. And actually still didn't get all the way up to the same, but it's close. The benefit of the boost aura though is you've got utility. You can do anything you want with it. I like using it as a slow, so I use boosted grasp. In addition to that, it's 20 DU less. There is zero utility we can get out of this. The only utility we can get out of it is the reduced heat reduction if you sit in it while you're doing your proton charge. But that's not viable play. You're just never going to be able to sit inside of your buff beam while you're doing proton charge. That's the only utility you get out of it. And it costs more. So that's crappy. So in a more ideal setup, we'll come over here again. You'd go with your flame aura and your boost aura, but then you would add in destructive pylon on something else. Now, Destructive Pylon is going to boost the Boost Aura, which in turn gives more power to the Flame Aura. But the Destructive Pylon is also going to directly boost the Flame Aura, so you're getting more power out of the combination for the same amount of DU. So now we spend 90 DU, and we got 3 million DPS, instead of spending 90 DU and getting, what was it, 2.23? 2.23. So we're almost a million DPS higher with the same DU spent, plus we got a free slow out of the deal. And that's why buff beams are poo. Shame on you, Chromatic. Do something with the buff beams, dang it. But, you know, what can you do? It is what it is. So what we do instead is we just don't use it. Because even in that situation where we got all of our buffs going, it's not even worth it to spend the 60 DU and go like this. What's that going to get it up to then? That takes it up to 4 million damage. However, instead of spending that 60 DU doing that, instead spend your 60 DU and do something like this. And now we've got 3 different defenses that are all doing that 3 million damage. So now we got 9 million instead of 4 million out of the same amount of DU. Anyway, that's the philosophy behind it all. No, I do not have max range on my Boost Aura. I would love to get max range on my Boost Aura, but I'm just not willing to give up anything else. There, Retro Kid. Actually, there's nothing else I can do. I've got a range mod. Yeah, I've got a max defense range mod, and I've got... I mean, I could go Vicious as well, but I'm certainly not willing to give up either a slow or the power benefit to put Vicious in there. I mean, what would that be? That would be... I don't even think that gets you to the max. See, if we got rid of the slow and went Vicious instead, still not at the max. So it would require multiple people with Ancient Power for the additional range buff to get there. Yep, there it is. But that's a big old bastard, that's for sure. Now let me get that fixed before I end up with that train wreck of a Boost Aura. Let's get our grass back in there. And get our Reflect Beam fixed back up with some Vicious. There we go. Alright, y'all. So that is going to get it for today. Thank you all an absolute ton. Instead of doing another map, I ended up doing Why Buff Beams Suck. Why Buff Beams Suck by Juice Bags. But anyway, thank you all an absolute ton for swinging by. I do appreciate it. I'm going to be streaming on YouTube quite a bit more here over the next weeks. The reason being is, you know, the YouTube struggle is real right now, and I need to focus on YouTube and not let it go under. Splitting up and doing more streams on Twitch than on YouTube worked out great, but right at the moment, DD2, the DD2 player base, of course, is waning, with people hoping to get into that DDA beta soon. And until that happens, it's going to be a tough time with me streaming to 2 different platforms. But anyway, thanks a ton, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a great week, and the weekend is here. So I will be live right here on YouTube again tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you swing by and say what's up. So thanks a ton, everybody. Have a great night, and I will see y'all soon. Take it easy.